Hi, I thought I'd take you behind the scenes of my human design and how I like to use it and how I have been using my human design, which to me is simply my energetic DNA chart, the way that I can understand the energies within me. And the way I've loved to use it is to use it as a real personal development tool to get to know myself, to improve myself, to get to understand myself better, so that in understanding and having this strong relationship with who I am, everything around me has seemed to get better and better and better, and I feel better and better and better. So, shall we dive straight in? The first thing that you can know about me is that I am a generator alongside, I think it's 70% of the population. We are here to do what we said, what it says on the tin, basically. We are here to generate energy, to generate light, to generate for others who don't have their own life source of energy within them. We have this insane ability to light ourselves up when we are doing what we love. And in doing that, we create this irresistible source of light and energy that other people are drawn to, even if they don't enjoy or like what we're doing that lights us up. They will light themselves up by feeding off our beautiful energy. So, I saw this, when I heard this, I saw this was almost like a carte blanche to just go and do everything that I love, because it was in service to everybody around me, especially the people in my life who don't have that life source energy. So the projectors, the manifestors, the reflectors, they can tap into me. So I am here to be that big, bold, bright, shiny light, and also give permission to other generators to do the same. The things that I have had to watch out for being a generator is that in quieter periods of time, when it feels like life is a bit of a lull, I have to trust that everything is going okay. I want everything to be hot and fiery and excitable, but it doesn't always happen that way. And I've got to trust that that is actually happening for me. The other thing that I can do is also I can doubt myself too much when things aren't all sparkly and light. So I've been really leaning into this trusting in my energy. That's what I've been doing at the moment. One of the most favourite things that I learned about being a generator was the fact that my strategy as a generator is to respond to life. And I love this because I have interpreted this to mean that I don't have to know the full path. I don't know how to have to know the full plan. I just get to respond to life. So when I'm offered opportunities or decisions or anything, I get to respond. I don't have to see the full path. And I can respond by tapping in to using my authority. And my authority as a human design, in my human design, is a sacral authority. And I wish I'd known this sooner, because I have always known in my gut very strongly what I wanted to do, and I used to ignore it. But being told and understanding that I had a sacral authority, I have been playing with this since I found this out, and started small, but started to use it bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's this knowing that I can tap into my kind of like gut, into my sacral knowing, and having this really guttural response of, if I'm given a question with a yes, no answer, I can respond from my full-bodied hell yes or full-bodied hell no. And if it's anything in between, it's not that yet. And I keep asking my questions until I get to that really full sacred yes. And I use it with everything from what I want to eat, to what I want to do in my business, to where I want to go on holiday, to absolutely everything. And I love knowing this, because that is how I've started to direct my life, and it feels so good. Knowing this combination of my strategy and my authority has been utterly groundbreaking in my life, because it has meant that procrastination is a thing of the past, and I just need to tap into my authority and understand my strategy, and I'm ready to go. And I love that about my human design. The next thing I found out was that my profile lines are a 3-6, and they were introduced to me as being a double martyr, and I was like, no, I'm not a martyr at all. until I understood really what they meant. And the line 3 is very much about the understanding that I'm here for the trial and error, that I'm always going to be in the experience of transition and moving through. And I can see this as a real gift, especially when I start to see perceived failures or mistakes as real opportunities to learn and to grow and to keep using those. And then coupled with my line 6, which I will operate as a line 3 until my 5th decade, which I'm approaching rapidly. These two together enable me to become who I'm destined to be, this role model, this teacher, but teaching from a place of embodied wisdom, of knowing, because I've experienced so much. So I can not only just teach from the knowledge of a book that I've read, but also teach from this experience of I've implemented this, I've been through this, I know this from where I have been. And these two lines I embrace. When I initially feared them, I now love them. And this is really where I started, understanding my energy type, my authority, my strategy, and my profile lines. That's where I started. I started to really embody and understand and integrate that into my life before I went any further in my chart. But I was going to show you my chart just so that you can see what I'm currently working on. Here you go. This is my chart. So you'll see that I have got 4 defined centers or colored in centers, and 5 undefined, and some of them are open. Open just means I've got no gates or channels connecting them to another chakra. When I first looked at that, I had no idea what that meant, and it took me a while to decipher, and it's taken me a long time doing lots of other people's readings, understanding my own, to really get deeper and deeper into the understanding of each of the different chakras and what they mean and how they can influence my behavior, my actions, my thoughts, my beliefs, how I show up, and also how I manifest and how I attract. And that has been a really, really exciting deep dive, and the deep dive still continues. The first thing that I really wanted to work on was the understanding of my open and undefined centers, which are the ones that aren't shaded in. So the one at the top, the crown, means that I have an open channel, an open source of inspiration. I get inspiration from life. I take on so much from everything around me, and I love that. But one thing it helped me understand was that I can take on so much that sometimes I get headaches. I take on the thoughts, the beliefs, the worries, the ideas from other people, and sometimes taking that much information can really cause me intense migraines. For those of you who've been following and have seen that. But in understanding this and giving myself peace and downtime and holding boundaries, I have learnt how to manage that. And in this awareness, I haven't had a migraine for an incredibly long time. So that was really powerful. You'll also see the triangles to the left and the right. The one on the left is my spleen. The one on my right is my solar plexus. And these really take on like senses and emotions. So the spleen is like survival instincts and fear, and the solar plexus is very much around emotions. And then coupled with the root, which is the base square at the bottom, which is all about ambition and drive and pressure and stress. With these open, it means that I'm susceptible to absorbing what's going on in terms of fears and emotions and stress of others. And while this makes me an incredible empath, and especially in the line of work that I do, I can feel people, I can sense what's going on before they even speak. In my personal and private life, this meant that I could be totally overwhelmed by the emotions, the worries, the fears, the stress of my family and the people that I was around. And I had to uphold boundaries and just use these questions of, is this my thought? Is this my feeling? Is this my fear? Is this my stress and pressure? Where is this coming from? And when I knew that they weren't mine, I used the strategies and the techniques to let them go and let myself feel peace. So while these open chakras can mean that I take on a lot of energies of others, and I have to have that awareness and boundaries, they also make incredible gifts for me to be in service to my clients and to others. The chakra and the area which I am currently working on as my personal development, my own personal development, is this little open center. Very open is my heart. It's where willpower and ego resides. And with an open and undefined heart chakra, this means that my energy can be inconsistent. And I call it my pesky little heart because it has been so conditioned throughout my life to hustle, to prove my worth through the comparison and the competition of my life to date. At home, I was always compared to my younger sister who was cuter and brighter. I was compared at work to my peers in order to get promotions, to move on up. And it was always about being in this energy of look at me, pick me, love me, I'm good too, I'm here. And I've had to spend a lot of time unpicking all of this and healing the little girl inside me who never felt she was good enough, and soothing this young, enterprising young woman who couldn't understand why there had to be this hierarchy. And I've been really showing myself that there is a different way, that I don't have to look to outside to compare myself, to compete with anybody else, and that the drive to do better, to be better, to have better, to live better only ever needs to come from any kind of comparison or competition within me. And the willpower that I need comes from directly within me. And I don't need to prove my value or my worth or my love to anybody else. And I don't need any validation from anyone, my parents, the partners, the leadership teams, because now I pick me and I choose me. And this has been wonderful. So there you go. There's still so much more that I'm working on and understanding about my human design, but I love it. And there's always more to unpick, always more to unravel, always more to understand within my defined and my undefined chakras, to understand in my channels and my gates and everything that comes along with the more embellished human design chart that we have access to. If this is something that you would like to know more about, then please do get in touch. I would love to be your guide to help you understand your energetic DNA, your energetic blueprint, your human design, so that you can start to get to know yourself on a deeper level, understand yourself, and bring these strategies and this awareness into your life so that it gets better and better and better.